Sick. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast, Holiday 2013 edition.
Lights. Do we always have those?
Yeah, there's always been there.
No, I mean, like the last week, do we have that too?
Yeah, we've had the Christmas lights there forever.
All right.
Forever.
I know you just put them up there today, Kara. I was fucking with him.
Wow.
Yeah, she just put it up there. This is my angry podcast.
Nice.
Why are you mad?
I got a list of
He's
shit.
mad.
Oh, wait,
He showed up
Introductions
mad.
first, Gus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really excited.
Gus
Gavin.
Jack.
And me.
and Gus. Featuring Gus.
by Gus.
Got a lot of stuff to be mad about. Gonna spread it out.
Merry
So-
Christmas.
All right, Gus, why are you angry? What happened?
Well, a lot of things.
A lot of things.
First of all, I went to lunch today.
that's the
I've
worst.
had a really busy day,
Oh.
so I was like, I'm just gonna run down to Jersey Mike's. I'm just gonna pick up a sandwich. I get to the door to walk into Jersey Mike's, and there's a woman walking in front of me, super slow. She's shuffling. I'm like, okay, I could like rush right around her, but I was like, I don't want to be the jerk. I'm just gonna shuffle behind her. She's on the phone talking to someone on the phone the whole time. Gets up to the counter, like, what can we get you? She's like, oh, hold on. I want 2 turkey Swisses. And then like, doesn't even wait for the acknowledgement, just goes back to her phone call. It's like totally detached from the whole thing, making everything take really long. Like, do you want, what do you want on this? Oh, I want this. Blah, blah, blah. And of course the guy's like, what? Oh, okay, he's like trying to put it together. She's like, oregano. I wanted oregano. Jesus. I'm like, what the fuck, you stupid bitch?
Wow.
Like, this person is like making your food for you. Have the decency to interact with them.
Yeah.
Have the decency.
You're in a line.
To help
get off
them.
the goddamn phone.
Get off the fucking phone
Yeah.
for
Can I be-
5 fucking seconds. You aren't saving someone's life. You aren't doing a fucking public service. You're ordering a goddamn sandwich.
I'm generally a pretty nice person, but when I used to work at HEB, a grocery store here in Texas.
Butts.
And HE Butts. But there was one time, like I was just in a
Division
mood.
Wars.
This woman came up through my line, and I was like, oh, like, how are you doing today? And she had a phone up, and she goes, and kept talking, like she put her finger up and kept talking, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna break everything you have. And so she had eggs, bread, and she wasn't paying attention to me, so like I took her eggs and like I just crushed all the bottom of the eggs, and I flattened her bread right in front of her, just right in front of her. And she was just so distracted by her phone, and it was just like, all right, fine, if you're not gonna pay attention to me, I'm just gonna wreck all your shit. She had like
all her eggs.
Yeah, it's like all you gotta do is the hole from the bottom is push in, you can break all the bottom of the eggs.
This
So
podcast
everyone's
brought to you by HEB.
dude, but it was like.
Always not a cell phone either.
But it was one of those things where it's like, all right, fine. And it's like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, if you're gonna be that, if you're gonna be an asshole to me, I'll be an asshole right back to you.
I had friends in college. I'm nervous saying this out loud. I had
You
friends,
knew a guy who had friends in college.
I knew a guy. I once met somebody at a party who is now dead and knew people. No, I had friends in college who kidnapped Texas A&M's mascot, which is a border collie.
Yeah.
Wow, they got Reveille?
They were the guys who got Reveille the first time.
Jesus.
Like, there's a group of cadets at Texas A&M called the Corps, but they're not actually ROTC. They're like an offshoot of it. I'm not sure how the distinction, but one of their duties is to guard the mascot for A&M, which is their mascot for the school is not really a dog, but they have this dog that it goes everywhere. It goes to class. If it barks in class, one of the traditions is everybody gets to go home. The class is dismissed. And they always made a big deal about the fact that the dog it was the only college mascot that had never been kidnapped.
No.
And my buddies were like, well, then we'll just kidnap it. And they totally did it. They kidnapped the dog. And when they got the dog, it's like normal college prank. We kidnapped the dog. Nope. A&M was like, that dog is X amount of value. We're pressing felony charges against whoever has this thing. They were freaked the fuck out.
What were they gonna do with the dog afterwards? What did they plan on doing?
You
with
keep it till like after a football game, then you return it.
Then you return it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take photos with it, or
you
not
like-
with it, but you take of it.
If it's the early
Yeah.
1900s, they would kidnap Bevo and then eat it. They did. They ate our mascot. The mascot for UT.
He's a cow. He's the long
Yeah, Bevo's the longhorn. Yeah, it's the cat.
I had no idea. I don't
He's
know.
a guy.
You didn't know what Bevo was?
No.
You know the
You know
Longhorns
Bevo?
were a cow?
I don't know what.
The mascot for Texas is
like,
the Longhorn?
You didn't know who Bevo was?
No.
Living in Austin. I realize our audience won't know. Bevo is the name of the University of Texas mascot. It's a longhorn. And there's if you ever see it at the football games, it's drugged.
He's drugged out of his mind.
I mean,
What, it's a doped up cow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just sits there, is like, looks around.
No, it's
Think about-
a Longhorn, though. It's got the giant fucking horns.
Why are they doing stuff with animals?
What's
in fact, the
mascot?
name of our
What's the point?
mascot.
What's that got to do with sport?
The name of our mascot is Bevo because somebody kidnapped it and burned into the side of it 13-0, which was the score of the last game.
That was Texas A&M did it.
Yeah, Texas A&M did it. And the solution for them burning the cow, burning the score into its side, is we'd fix it by burning more letters and misspelling Bevo.
So the 13, the 1-3 became a B, and then the dash became an E, and they just put a
poor
little
cow
V in between the 0.
got burned again to fix the first
Well,
burn.
cows get branded all the
They're
time.
branded.
It was the whole side of the cow.
Yeah.
It was
There
it is.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
so
watching, there's Bevo.
there's Bevo.
That doesn't look cruel.
Anyway, my buddies, they had Reveille, and they were
yeah,
like,
what happened to
they
this?
were hunted. They were scared shitless.
That's dangerous though, because if I had stolen a dog and all of a sudden everyone's trying to find the dog, I would probably quickly bury it, like kill it and bury it. Well, how would you give it back without being caught?
They had to go to the lake.
I don't know,
and
I'd panic.
they tied her to a tree. They put her leash. They tied her leash to a tree, and they called a radio station, a sports radio station, because it was a huge story on all the sports stuff. And they said, the dog's out there. Please go get the dog because she's tied to a tree in the shade and she's fine. I can't forget what time of year it was, but it was totally fine to do this. And then they had to, because they were so concerned, they stayed close. I mean, they weren't trying to hurt the dog.
Right. Yeah.
But then this very traditional college prank to steal a mascot. That's totally normal. It is. It's totally normal.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
Yeah. But it turned into this huge thing. And I think A&M was huge pussies about it, especially because they bragged about their mascot was the only college mascot.
We're gonna put it out there. You're essentially issuing the challenge.
Yeah.
But how did they get the dog away from the core? Like doesn't the dog sleep in a room with?
I can tell you the whole story. So the kid, there's one person who is assigned as the caretaker for the
Did they
dog.
kill and eat that guy?
No, no. Unfortunately, this is a real human impact of this story. Is that dude was basically run out of school?
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean he was basically because he was in the Corps and he had a very prestigious position, and so I know just he wasn't there after a
Well,
little
he's probably
while.
better off not being an A&M anyway. So.
Well, I guess so after that happened, and it's like then the dog got stolen on his watch, and it had never been stolen before, and so yeah, he was, as far as I remember, if I recall correctly, he was not there very shortly thereafter.
So how'd they get the dog out of this guy's place?
They just went, they opened the back gate, and they went, "Come here, girl," and she just walked up, and then they just walked away with her.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man.
And I think that was part of it too, is that they didn't steal it from the school. They stole it from I shouldn't say the word stolen. They
borrowed
They pranked her away from a personal residence, and that was part of it as well. And they were going to press charges and all this stuff.
And okay, this is a fucking gateway for even more hate.
Let's do it.
Fucking Apple, man.
Fucking hell.
Can't get their shit together. So, ever since I upgraded to Mavericks, my mail application
Mavericks?
has been shit.
Really?
It just does not work.
why
It
is
was the
using-
same with the last
No,
upgrade.
it's
gone
worse
down
now.
and down and down
So
every time.
Mavericks came out, pile of shit. Does not work at all.
Why are you using Mavericks? Use the web-based thing we use.
Shut up.
So that's what I used.
So,
Why would
great, good for you. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me.
Why use anything local?
So then
Use it
the
all
mail
in the
application
cloud.
is so bad. It's still cloud-based, fucker.
Jack, how dare you? He had to walk slow behind somebody
So
today.
then the mail application was so bad that before they released the 10.9.1 update, they had an update just to fix mail.
Wow.
Didn't fix it. So
There's nothing worse when you have a problem and there's a fix for it, and then it doesn't fix your thing.
So then they finally released 10.9.1, which has another mail fix. It made it even worse than it was before.
So
now when I check mail on my desktop, it doesn't mark mail as read. So
that's
on my
weird.
phone, my mail is still unread, and the web browser, it's still unread. So I'll go through my desktop, read everything, reply to everything, then look in the web browser, and it's still all unread. And then I look back at my desktop, and everything's marked as unread again, because it's refreshed and gotten status from the web client. Like, what the it's absolutely worthless.
So
Use the
your
web
mail.
client.
I am now, because they
Okay.
fucking broke it.
So your mail app is telling all your other devices that you haven't read email that you've read.
Right. And then I haven't replied to it. That's why I had to reconfirm you're showing up today, because I didn't know if I emailed you, because the fucking thing doesn't tell me. A total pile of shit. And mail in iOS 7, just as bad. I'll read a message, back out, and it says it's unread. So then I have to go in and read it again.
Yeah.
What was
that's
the-
sometimes, it takes some time sometimes before it'll trip over.
Bullshit.
What was the
Where the
OS?
fuck is Steve Jobs when you need him? You think this shit would fly if Steve Jobs was in charge? He would literally have heads on pikes in fucking Cupertino over this shit.
That is true.
He would be kicking over some shit.
No, I have a friend who works at Apple, and she basically says, now that Steve's gone, people are just much more lax about that stuff. They just don't care as much anymore. And when he was there, he would rain
They
down
are in a
fire on
They are in a
people.
bitter war with Android over the mobile platform.
Yeah.
And they are fucking it up.
Yeah.
They have fucked it. I said it.
And you see him sink back in his seat.
You know,
like, done.
Gavin gave me
Sink.
shit because when the new iOS for the iPhone came out, I didn't upgrade for like 2 weeks, and he kept telling me to do it. I just don't. I've learned not to do that anymore. Like, I have not upgraded to this new OS update.
Don't.
At all for my MacBook Air. My mail's fine. Watch, I'm gonna mark something red.
See,
Isn't witches with brooms and stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Isn't that because they used to wedge the broom handles up themselves?
That I think is I believe that was something they used as propaganda. That they would put psychedelics on the end of a broom handle and put it in their vagina, and then that's where the modern day image of a witch riding a broom comes from.
so they rode a broom in a totally different way.
But that was made up. That was made up to, like, in one piece of propaganda, it just became like a thing. Like, I also learned this. Did you know that Napoleon was normal or above average height?
Really?
No idea.
They just started that rumor about him to disparage him, his enemies.
What, that he was short?
That he was short. Yeah, sorry, that he was short.
Did Hitler only have one ball, or was that a myth too?
I don't know about
Is that a myth? I never heard that.
Yeah, Hitler only has one ball. The other's in the Albert Hall. Or how's that rhyme go?
What?
His mother has the other.
Go ahead. This
Is this like stuff you learn? This is like
It's like
British
ring around
school
the rosy.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
think
like-
there's something involving Hitler's testicles.
If you bomb the UK, they're gonna make rhymes about you only having one.
college
bomb.
mascots,
70
those are
years
weird,
later.
Gus. College
Yeah,
mascots
college
are weird.
mascots are strange.
All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna move on to something else I hate.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it theme parks?
So I'm sick of Facebook.
I agree with you.
There are
Do I have to be here for this?
there are people
This is awesome.
Go.
who
The Gus
there
Show,
are
I
people
love
who
it.
only have one kind of update. Like there's this one dude in my timeline I know only gonna post about Taekwondo. Every post.
Taekwondo.
We all know who that is.
Another person.
Yeah.
No,
We all
it's
know.
not the person you think it is.
Oh, okay.
I have another person who only posts stuff they're selling. Like they use it like their personal Craigslist. I have another guy I went to high school with who's a realtor, only posts real estate news. It's like, has this become your life? Like this is my experience of you, of these people. It's like you are the garage sailor, you are the realtor, and you're the Taekwondo guy. It's like that's the image you're projecting.
Yeah.
It's so fucking one-sided and one-dimensional. I don't want to see that shit. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
What have
I'm
you
gonna
gone-
fucking delete my Facebook account.
Have you
so
gone,
fucking
gone
over it.
beyond the like married and baby photos?
I'm so sick of that.
Yeah.
Unbaby me.
On baby me.
What? Just hide all from user. You're done. Hide all from user.
Or
need to.
just remove friend.
Or just remove friend if
Yeah.
you got balls like Gavin does, apparently. I don't have that. On Twitter, I have a whole app that lets me mute people that I follow.
Yeah.
It's like, boop. It's like,
Oh. And crazy political view person.
Oh yeah,
No,
you
let me-
love
let-
that guy.
Crazy political
It's
view.
usually,
That's-
it's usually like an uncle or
it's
something.
my old English teacher from middle school.
Ah.
I am so sick.
Can you imagine trying to describe your mute function to a caveman and try and make that make sense? It's like, okay, so this feature, what it does is with this device, it lets me see what they do on that device,
Right.
but then I don't want to let them know that I don't want to see the stuff on that they're typing on their device.
Yes.
So it lets me not see it, even though he thinks that I'm seeing it.
Right.
And the caveman would probably just club you to death.
he would club me to death. He would club me to death, and he would smash my phone. He'd say, like, so he has a device that he puts words into it, and then the words go into the air, and my device will take the air and pull the words out of it, and then I ignore them. I would have bought a device to pull words out of the air that I don't want to read. And I carry it
So
with me.
specific.
and I look
carry
at
it
it
with me
every 30
everywhere.
seconds. I pull
Yeah.
it out to stare at it. This podcast is airing December 23rd.
Right.
Right before Christmas. So it made me want to ask everyone, if you think back about all the Christmas presents you ever received, what's the best Christmas present you ever got?
Any age, like when you think about
Any age, like
my
looking
ultimate
back
Christmas-
all of your whole life.
5 years old, I got a Playmobil pirate ship, and it's like the greatest thing of my life is that Playmobil pirate ship. I think it cost $50, which in $1954, but it was like the greatest thing ever. It's like I wanted it forever, and I got it, and it took me and my dad about 4 hours to set the damn thing up, and it was fucking awesome. They still make it to this day. Every time I see it in the window of a shop. And the places that sell Playmobil in the U.S. are the worst toy shops. It's like all these toys you don't want, all these like lousy like independent toys. And then I always see the Playmobil pirate ship, and I'm just like, I love it. I think it's still $50 to this day. Wow. But that's it. That's mine.
I would say either the Lego monorail, because I love that thing, or my NES. I think I was 5 or 6 when I got my NES.
Was that a Christmas thing? Like when did that launch? Do you
I
remember?
don't know.
I have no idea. I feel like they soft launched. I want to say like in November or December but it was like a super low key launch, and then they built.
Yeah, I'm sure I
over
didn't get
time.
it when it launched. I mean, again, I was
Yeah.
5 or 6 years old. I don't remember any of that, but yeah, that's pretty. I remember playing Super Nintendo just nonstop.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Or,
have been-
I mean, playing Nintendo Super Mario Brothers nonstop.
Yeah, you would have. I mean, you would have been younger when NES launched.
It came out. What was it?
83.
Would you say that's the
or
most
80
Oh, then-
influential?
No, wait, 86. I want to say.
Okay, yeah. So I would have been 4 when it came out. So I was probably 5.
A little older. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Gavin? Have you ever got a Christmas present you care about?
Yeah, I got this remote control car. It's called like Rebound or something, but it could drive upside down.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And
Yeah.
I would just drive into people's shins, and it'd be like, and it would roll up their shins, turn around, and then just do it again. So it'd just be like, it was like the best thing ever. Christmas Day, I was just trashing people's kneecaps.
I didn't realize that it would keep going. I thought it like went up and then came back in the opposite direction.
God.
It would.
I never
go-
had one, so I don't know.
It would drive up the wall, turn around, but then I think you could steer it the other way. But if you just kept holding it up, it would just keep going up the wall like this.
It's like your origin story. Birth of a cunt.
I remember seeing those commercials. I really wanted one
the
of
Gavin
those.
Free story.
I think for me, it was probably my SNES. I didn't get an NES for Christmas, but I remember getting an SNES.
Yeah.
I think it was like the year it came out, maybe. So
Okay.
it was a couple months after it came out. And,
October 18th, 1985 was the NES. So it was,
So I probably got it in '86. I probably got it the next year.
I think it was, it took a while to catch on.
Happy holidays, guys.
Gus is not having it. Bye. Everybody.
Bernie, Gus, Jeff, Joel, and Matt. Barbara, Gavin, Michael, and Joe the cat. An hour and a half is how long it's going to last. So relax, cause you're listening to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Yeah. It's the drunk tank. Gavin's a fucking idiot.